Nicer morning this morning. Had my hoodie up this morning for a little while, but it's warmer now. I went and started without you, so I'll catch you up. I'm going to put the joists in today, so I'm pocketing it in this big log on the front. I'm going to get it down to 12 inches from the surface of the deck. So what I'm doing now, everywhere there's a joist, remember I said put your lines across the beam, and you're fairly straight, so I've already squared the first one in. And the second one is going to fall right about here. Right about here. So, oh Jesus, this is hard without a camera person. So we'll mark it on the inside right here, and then 1.5 inches over from there will be another mark. But this beam, this live beam on the front, is curved, so when we put the square down, just make sure that the little square comes out even with our, when we're on our mark, and we'll just use the beam as a reference. So looks pretty even right there. So we'll just make a little mark across the square. Okay, so 10 inches down from the surface is the bottom of our joist. I did a little rough calculation a while ago, but it was a little too rough, so we'll just make a mark here. That's the bottom of our joist. So from here to here, 6 inches. We've got our little reference lines over there. So all we have to do is make a little plateau for the joist to sit on. So I'll cut that out. I've already done the first one over there, so that's what we're going for. I may just in fact join them all up after, but if I just make a little slot for each joist to go in, then it gives you the opportunity to toenail it in. But I'll have to mill out the rest of this to 1.5 inches. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'll probably just slay it right off. But it's important to get your accurate depth from the bottom of the timber here. Got to be 6 inches, or we're just wasting time. So I'll go along and I'll do each one of these, and yeah, then I'll cut them out. Alrighty. So I scribe my line along the log face. That's our good edge. And then I moved over 1.5 inches and just scribed it with a little block of wood. So our little pockets are all at the right depth. So basically I just did the pocket first, then connected the dots. Now I'm going to try and break this core out of here, smooth that down a bit, and that'll give us a nice little channel to recess that fancy piece into. So I'll try and chip these out of here. I'll be glad when I'm up off the rocks. It's hard to walk in this stuff. Now I don't want to ruin the front, so I'm going to chip it from the back. There we go. That little one came out easy. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Just pull out pull out the core, and if it needs a little work, we'll just plane it down with the tip of the chainsaw. Just we'll wiggle it back and forth in there until the groove is all nice and even. I wouldn't mind going down a little bit further than the joist, just to ensure that we've got a good joint when we meet this piece with the top piece. If it's offset a little bit, then, you know, where the two joists meet, then the faceplate will be a little bit of a lip, if you know what I mean. So I'll notch these out and get them all smooth, and then I'll try a block of wood in there, and we'll see if we can't get it to sit in there. Of course, the motor starts just as soon as I turn the camera on. Neighbors down there. Okay, so I scored it, blocked it, tweaked it a little bit. I just cleaned it out with the ears of the hammer, and it looks pretty good so far. I'm just cleaning up the bottom a little bit with the saw. And down at the other end there's a nice big spike I hit with the chainsaw, so I had to go and do a little surgery on it. A couple of the teeth were pretty mashed. So I'm just going to finish cleaning this out. And we just use the tip of the chainsaw. And it's important to keep it on the right angle so that you're not ruining your front face here. So you just keep it, I'm exaggerating here now, but you just keep it back a little bit and you just wave it back and forth in there, and it'll clean that out. Don't get it too straight up and down or you'll eat the chain in the face. So I'll just continue with Alright, so we're all milled out. Looks pretty good. I tested it here and there at this end, and it's just about bang on. And it's 6.5. Now it gets a little deep here. The joists are a little bit above the beam, so I'm going to cut a wider board and sink it into here and get it fitting on the bottom. And then I'll mill the top off to match the other ones after. And the joist will be just up a little bit. I'll throw a little shim under it. But I got it all bucked out. Hopefully it'll make that corner radius alright. Wood seems pretty bendy. It's been in the creek for about a week. So I gave up on the bending the 1.5" stuff. That's just friggin' work, man. I'm gonna put 2 layers of 3/4 and call her a day. I'll put the embellishments on after. It'll look fine. Alright, well I'm gonna lay that soggy 1x6 in there and see if I can't get it to bend here and there, and start laying in a couple of 2x6s to wedge in there and help things along. Yeah, looks good though. You'd do the same if you were trying to fit a pine floor into logs for a log home. You would just run the saw along and make a groove similar to that. slide the floor in, because it's pretty much impossible to put a baseboard on log, and it's about the only way you can get a consistent depth so you can put a straight piece against it, keep the mice out. Anyway, yeah, log stuff.